What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only Bear Collector, and today I am doing my October 2024 video game haul. And boy, it is a big haul, bigger than I thought, bigger than I expected for the month. So basically, let's get started. I did have a couple of digital purchases this month, and before I begin, as you can see, I have this little designated. Typically, I put a bunch of plushies and whatnot. However, there's a reason why I have these figures out and just displaying those, and I'll explain later in the video. The only thing different is just Mega Man and Rush. I found these lying around the house, so I decided to put them in there. You know, they look really badass. They're from the 90s Mega Man cartoon. So yeah, Mega Man, and they're pretty beat up. They were my son's, but then he decided he didn't want to keep them. So I said, well, let me borrow them. I'll put them on display. But anyways, let's get started because there is a lot to cover. First off, one digital game I bought for the Nintendo Switch, and that game is Super Squidlet for the Nintendo Switch. Now, as you can see right here, I have Squidlet, the original. I just beat Squidlet, and it's a very simplistic game. If you think Kirby from the very original Kirby and Game Boy, it's similar to that in a way, but it's a really fun little platformer. So there's a sequel that's called Super Squidlet, which is more reminiscent of Game Boy Color games at the time. So I decided to get that one because it went on sale. Basically, the story goes, like in Squidlet, there was this evil witch who was trying to block off the sun for all the animals and the whole area and the plants. And Super Squidlet continues that adventure. But yeah, that is for the Nintendo Switch. Let me turn this guy off. Power options, turn off. Because I did buy a bunch. I didn't buy a bunch, but I got a couple of Steam games that I got. Steam downloadable content. And one of them is a special one, and I'll explain right now. I should have powered the Steam console. Oh man, I'm in love with this particular Steam deck. It's so cool. I'm having a lot of fun with it, by the way. So yeah, while it powers up, let me go ahead and do that. And there is some interesting grabs that I got this month. So let's get started with that. Okay, here we go. And let me go to my folder. Library. Just purchase. Oh, I got 8. Okay, so first one that I bought is called Alice Behind the Mirror. This one's basically a point and click adventure game for Alice in Wonderland. The Cheshire Cat calls Alice back to Wonderland, and so she's trying to solve some clues of the area. And I saw gameplay of it. It's basically like you have a scene where you have a bunch of items and objects, and you need to kind of tap the ones. Whoa! You need to tap the ones that are needed. They have a list for you to find a specific, it's kind of like a treasure hunt type of thing. But anyways, that's the one I got. And then Coral Islands. Now, this particular game is like a farming game based off islands and exploration. I actually won this game thanks to the Cultured Vultures channel. So thank you very much. I won a Steam downloadable code, and that's the game that I got. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And this one is impressively, this one is a to play it on the Steam Deck, so that's gonna be interesting. Now, this one was a free game. This is actually a 3-in-1 game, a game with a kitty and Dark Side Adventures. They're all Metroidvania games, but the reason why this is special is because there's a third bonus game, which is called Hunter. Oh my goodness, let me look it up. It's called and I'm just playing it, but the title, Treasure Hunter Man. That's what it is. I'm playing Treasure Hunter Man 2 right now as of the making of this video. And the original Treasure Hunter Man is on this bundle as a special. So I got that one, and they're all Metroidvania. So I love that style of gameplay. So see how it goes. This one right here, Jack Move, is actually an RPG. style game. It's cyberpunk, futuristic. You play as this one character where she goes with her technology, like a little robot companion that they go off to uncover some evil plot. Can't really remember much of the story on that one. And then you got Ramino's Adventure. This one is basically Tetris, but with a twist. Kind of like a Tetris platformer where you have to jump around and put the pieces. So that one was very interesting. This one I purchased, Jack Move, along with Alice. And then, of course, I got that one. The rest were free downloadable games. And then I got Sec Machina, another Metroidvania, I believe. See, okay, let me take a look. I'm always curious about these because I believe that these are, yeah, it's a Metroidvania. Yeah, 2D platform Metroidvania. So, let's see what the story is about. This is what I love about the Steam. It gives you the details, and then you can go and check. So where is it? Where are you? Game info. That's pretty much what they say. So yeah, it's a Metroidvania. The next one right here, I want to say that one's going to be a Metroidvania too. Yeah, Unstrong is also a Metroidvania. They're from the same creators of Treasure Hunter Man and this one right here. It's another Metroidvania. And then finally, what is I can't read the thing from the reading. Let me look it up. Vivaldia 2. This one's actually a platformer. Let me see. Go to the game information. Yes, so it's like a platformer. So you go around the area. I guess it's a sequel of some sort. So you have to save the land. So yeah, these were the games that I got. Really interesting for these particular ones. Let me just turn this one off. But yeah, especially the Treasure Hunter Man is one that I was very interested because nowhere can you find Treasure Hunter Man, the original game, as a console game. Treasure Hunter Man 2 was made into a console game, but the other ones is either on the PC or you have to like download it. So that was pretty cool. So now let's begin with the physical copies of the month. Now, before I begin with what I got, this is an interesting little side story of what I bought. Now, you guys know that I'm collecting for the Wii U. I'm almost, believe it or not, I'm reaching my goal. I'm getting really close to getting almost all the games for the console, for the North American releases. However, I was looking for a particular game that I knew I have, but I cannot find it to this day. I'm still searching for it, and that game is Okami for the Wii. In my guidebooks that I have where I jot down what I own, I was looking like crazy for this game. I went to my parents' house, searched through my collections that I have over there, nothing. Went through my collections here, and I didn't find the game. So as I was looking for the game, I noticed that I owned Batman Arkham Origins for the Wii U. However, inside of the game, it was the game Arkham Armored Edition, or Arkham City Armored Edition. So I have 2 copies because I already have it. So I was like, what? So anyways, I was missing Arkham Origins. I never realized that. I guess the people at GameStop at the time went, because I know I bought it at GameStop, gave me the wrong game. All these years, I just finally realized it. So I go on eBay and I find the game. I bought it, but when it came, it came, it was the same game. So I have like 3 copies of Arkham City Armored Edition. And I told the person, you sold me the wrong game. Sorry, not sold me. You sent me the wrong game, and they never really responded. So I ended up, getting my refund, but then I ended up keeping the game. They never asked for it. It's still there. If they, asked me for it, it's there. But finally, I bought the game loose because I already have everything completed, and I finally got it. So yeah, an interesting story nonetheless. But anyways, moving right along. So the first game that I got as for the month was this one in particular that I used to own when I was a kid, and I loved it. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego for the Sega Master System? It is complete with the almanac and the user manual. So, and it's such in really good shape. And I got it for a really good price at my local retro store. And I can't believe that I got that one. And at the same time, I was looking for this game a few days prior and I got it, but it's loose. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Now I have all the Metroid Prime games in my collection. And I was looking for this one. This one cost me a little bit more, but it was still at a good, decent price. So I got those two right there. And for those who don't know what Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, it's an educational game where you play as a detective that is out to find the elusive Carmen Sandiego and all her cronies. You go through different countries and you get clues. And you gotta, put in the clues to get a warrant to arrest those individuals. Really fun game from when I was a kid. And Metro Prime 2 Echoes is a continuation of Samus Aran. I really don't know the backstory of the Prime series. Well, I did, but I kind of forgot. So it's a continuation of Metroid Prime. And I also got this one in particular. This one game was a game that I was looking for. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Wrath of the Mutants for the PS5. Very interestingly, because this weekend I went to Chuck E. Cheese and they still had the arcade game. So this is an arcade game. I believe it's the same one that's in Chuck E. Cheese's in the area, in my areas. And it's a arcade style beat 'em up. And me and my son had a lot of fun playing this one. So I thought they took them off the arcade, and this weekend I took my kids to Chuck E. Cheese, and it was there. Me and my son were playing the game. So, yeah, it's basically an arcade game. I hear that the story's not really, there's not really much of a background story. I know April gets kidnapped by Shredder, so you gotta go save her. But the gameplay, I think it's pretty fun. My son and I had a lot of fun playing with it. And the next game that I bought, this one is a game from a long time ago. I never owned it, but I played it on an emulator, and I had a lot of fun with it. But I'm a big fan of this, and that is Gumby versus the Astrobots for the Game Boy Advance. Really fun platformer. I really like this game. This is a very fun game. One of my early games that I played on the Game Boy Advance. Well, not early. I wouldn't say early, but one of the early games that I emulated on the Game Boy Advance. And basically, it's Gumby that goes out to save his friends from the Astrobots. I want to say that this is based on an episode. And for those of you who don't know who Gumby is a character made out of clay. If you guys ever heard of clay animation or claymation, he is considered to be the godfather of clay animation. Art Clokey is the one that introduced us to Gumby. And of course, if you guys watch a lot of Tim Burton movies, Tim Burton likes to use a lot of clay animation, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Nightmare Before Christmas and whatnot. A lot of them are based upon clay animation. So yes, and I say Pee-wee's Big Adventure because some scenes they use clay animation. But yeah, really fun game. Next one is a game that I was looking for quite some time. And this one is Alien Syndrome for the Wii. Now, there is a PSP version of it. One that I was kind of looking for, but they're virtually almost the same game as the PSP. So I decided to get this one because it's much cheaper, and it's like a new take on Alien Syndrome, the arcade game. And this one is kind of more of a shooter RPG adventure game, action game. So yeah, I can't wait to play this one. Now, this next set of games I bought, and this is how I got a lot of games, was that I got a bunch of loose bundle games for really cheap. Meaning I bought a bid on eBay that had like about 10, 12 games for sale, and I got it for really cheap. And some decent ones. So this is the first bundle that I got. And the first one included Hitman Absolute, and these are PS3 games. Hitman Absolute for the PS3, FIFA, I can't even talk. FIFA Soccer 2012 for the PS3. Hitman Absolute, of course, is based on the Hitman series. I have several games of it, but I've never played it. And I want to say they're like 3D action, maybe stealthy. I can't say. Please correct me. Feel free to comment below. But it's one of the games in the series. Got that. Haze, which I hear is a very terrible game, from what I hear. But I was interested in this one, and of course Tony Hawk's Project 8. I heard about decent things about Tony Hawk's. I've never played a Tony Hawk's game, although I heard a lot about these games they're very fun games. So it's a good way to give it a shot. I'm very curious about it. This is another game that I got that I've heard a lot, but I'm not really familiar with it. Dishonored. I want to say it's a 3D RPG action hack and slash. And then the Golden Compass for the PS3. Now I thought I had this one as a extra, but I have the Golden Compass for a different console, and I don't know if they're the same style of gameplay based on the movie, but it came with it. And this one right here, that another reason why I got the bid on these games is for Wolfenstein: The New Order for the PS3. This is a series that I really want to get into. They're first-person shooters based on World War II. So I really want to get into that one. The next one is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Medal of Honor Limited Edition. Wow, what it says T to mature. I wonder what it is. I don't know if it's the game. Yeah, it looks like the game. Anyways, it came with that. Call of Duty is a series that I want to get into as well. FIFA Soccer 13 with Pro Evolution Soccer 2012, a bunch of soccer games. Ain't nothing. I like soccer. I've played a couple of soccer games in the consoles, and I think they're cool. And then, of course, one of the main reasons why I bought why I bid it on this batch of games is because of Portal 2 for the PS3. This is a puzzle platformer adventure game that I really want to get into, that my son, when he saw it, he got really excited because he wants to play it as well. So that's one of the batches that I got. The next batch, I got a batch full of GameCube games. So this one was very interesting. I got 007 Agent Under Fire, but this is an extra. So I already have the game. I have it complete. So this is an extra game that I got. But I got it because it had Spider-Man 2 for the GameCube. This is one of the reasons why I got it. Army Men Real-Time Strategy. This is from the Army Men series, and this is another series I want to get into. This was more of a strategic style of gameplay. The other ones are more of an action shooter or action platformer style gameplay. But this is one that I want to really get into. And then, of course, NFL Blitz 2002 basketball game. I don't mind basketball games. And NHL 2003 as well. So these are good games. Hockey, sports games, I'm not really too much into, but I welcome them. I love playing baseball, and I love sports games, to be honest with you. I really like basketball and football games as well as baseball games. More basketball and baseball to play in that. But another reason why I got the bundle was because of this game, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. And this one really caught my eye. So this one's like an adventure game. I believe I have the first one, and now I have the sequel. And then finally, Rocket Power Beach Bandits. I think there's a bunch of mini games based on the Rocket Power cartoon. I'm not too familiar with this, but I want to say that this is like a continuation of Rugrats, maybe? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, feel free to comment. And that's one set. Now, the next set of games that I got is this one that I didn't know existed, and I'm really curious about, and that is Ed, Ed, and Eddie for the PS2. The Misadventures. This is funny, based on the cartoon of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. This one I'm very curious about. I want to see. Okay, it's only one game. I'm very curious about this one, and this is like a 3D action platformer adventure game. So I really want to check that one out. And then, of course, I got this one. I had noticed this one since last month, and it's going for super cheap. And it's a platforming game based on this little guy that gets on my nerves, but I'm okay with it. My daughter loves Frozen, and that's Frozen Olaf's Quest for the 3DS. Now, I didn't know that there was a DS version of it that went for much cheaper. I mean, but it can't get any cheaper than this one, and it looked like a fun little platformer, so I don't mind playing it. And this one is really interesting and really funny. I really like the show that played back in the days. I don't know if you guys remember that. Let me take this off from the game. I don't know if you guys remember this one series in MTV, Celebrity Deathmatch. So I got Celebrity Deathmatch for the PlayStation 1. Really fun. This is like a beat 'em up sports game where you play different like famous people, you know, and yeah, that's what the Celebrity Deathmatch is about. So I really want to play this one. I hear that this is more superior than the PS2 version of it. Now, I don't know if the PS2 version may have different characters than the PS1 version. I'm going to do a little bit more research if that's the case. I also want to get the PS2 version, but I didn't do quite enough research because this one was going for a really good price. So I ended up getting that one. And to complete my series of games of this series, Tomb Raider 2 and Tomb Raider 3. Now, Tomb Raider 3 is for the PS1. Tomb Raider 2, I thought I was bidding on the PS1 version of it. However, I accidentally bought the PC version. But I didn't pay a lot. I only paid a couple of dollars for it. So I'm okay. I actually rebought the game for the PS1. But at least I have the computer game of Tomb Raider 2. This was a series that my friend was telling me about. I've played the original Tomb Raider before. I'm okay with the games, and my friend was like, "You should give it a shot. You should try it." So I'm gonna give it a shot. You know, maybe sometimes my mind my mind changes over the years. So yeah, that's that one set. Let's get on with the next one. The next one is Alien Syndrome for the NES. This is a action arcade style game. Now, you guys saw that about Alien Syndrome earlier for the Wii. This one's a little different. This is more true to the arcade. Now, there's a Sega Master System version of the game. And there's also this version, and I actually prefer to get this particular version of the game. But maybe if they're a little bit different, I may end up getting the Master System one. That's one that's fairly common, and I've always wanted to get since I was a kid. So I'm going to check it out and first play this one and see how it is. This one, the graphics are a little bit different. This one appealed to me more in the gameplay than the Sega Master System one. So we'll see how that goes. And then this one right here. Now, I was revisiting an old YouTube channel on video games, and they have this one as a budget style game. And it looked very corny, but really funny, but it looked like an interesting game. And that is Shooter Space Shot for the PlayStation 1. Got a complete copy of it. Basically, I guess you have to stop a war machine from what it says right here. But the cinematic style of this game, it's very, very, how do you say, very CGI, polygon style graphics, but they're very comical. So it really caught my eye. So yeah, give this one a shot. It's a side-scrolling shooter. So, and I really like side-scrolling shooters. So definitely give that one a try. Now, again, I bought another set of compilation games that I was looking for. And then these particular games, I was looking for one of them that really caught my eye. The other one was kind of like one that I had forgotten about, and one I kind of don't really care about. So let's do the one that I was really looking for, and that is Batman Begins on the PS2. I just saw a video on this one, and it blew my mind that this is actually a pretty good looking Batman game. It's an actual beat 'em up adventure game based on the movie, and people were saying it was a little bit impressive for being a tie-in to a movie. You know how movie games or games based on movies don't really are that cool a lot of times. This one really caught my attention, so definitely looking forward to playing that one. Then the next one is Looney Tunes Back in Action, another 3D platformer game that was part of the same pile. And that one caught my eye, so it was like, whoa, you know, this is a game that I had forgotten about that I wanted to play. And then finally, Finding Nemo, a movie that I don't like, one of my least favorite Pixar movies. Finding Dory and Finding Nemo can stay in the fish tank. I really don't like these movies, but who knows? The game might be cool. I never played it. I want to say I have another copy of Finding Nemo, or I have it for a different console. But again, who knows? But it came with the pile. I can't argue with that. And I got everything for super cheap. For the price of one of these games, I got everything. Or for less than one of the games. So yeah, really cool. And then I got this one for the Xbox. Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. Because I'm trying to collect all of the Oddworld games. And it's a series that I kind of played a little bit. I'm not like I played the first one, Oddworld's Abe's Odyssey, and of course there's Abe's Exodus, both of them for the PS1. Then you have Munch's Odyssey, which I think is the third installment. And I know that the PS4 made a lot of they remade a lot of these, but this one's for the original Xbox, so it went for really cheap. So I decided to get it, and then you know, I'm looking forward to playing these. These are the ones that I'm probably gonna end up playing after I'm done with Treasure Hunter Man 2. I may get into these games. There's a lot of games I really want to play, but not enough time. And then, of course, this is another one that I saw in a video that was very impressed. And it's a platformer. And it's not going for a lot of money right now. So I know that this is probably a game that's going to go for a lot more in the future. And that is Epic Mickey Power of Illusion. This one's basically, for the 3DS, this one's basically a side-scrolling platformer. If you guys ever played the Epic Mickey games, I have them both. I'm actually in the middle of one, or early on of one of them. That one is those are 3D platformers, and they're pretty decent. They're pretty good, but this one, I wonder where this one fits in the between a Power of Mickey, Epic Mickey Power of 2, and then the Epic Mickey games. I wonder where this one fits in the chronological order of things. But looking forward to play that one. And another game that I used to own when I was a kid that I kind of didn't finish, kind of didn't get through it, but I really liked and I really enjoyed, and that is Super Bust the Move for the PS2. I used to own this one when I was a kid. When I was a kid. PS2 I was already an adult. Look at me. But I used to own that one years ago. And not a very expensive game, really cheap. And I got it almost complete. I like having everything complete, but if I can, it's all good. So got that one, and it's basically based on Bubble Bobble, where you shoot the bubbles at the screen and whatnot. Love these games. I love these puzzle games. So yeah. And then, like I mentioned earlier, just a moment ago, Oddworld Abe's Exodus for the PS1 got a good complete copy of the game. So yes, looking forward to beating Oddworld's Abe's Odyssey, and looking forward to playing this one afterwards, because basically this style of games are like 2D platformers. If you guys ever played Prince of Persia, it's basically like that, or what was that one game for the Super Nintendo that was really something Bloodthorn or something? I forgot the name of it. That one was a good game. So yeah, so it's in that style. And then another game that I didn't know that the gameplays were different. PS1's Xena Warrior Princess. I did not know. I own the one for the Nintendo 64. The one for the Nintendo 64 is a little bit more. I think that was a fighting game. I think they're called the same. So Yeah, and this one is more of an hack and slash adventure game. So really looking forward to playing this one as well. I used to enjoy watching some of this. I wasn't very fond. I wouldn't say fond. I wasn't very into Xena Warrior Princess. I was more. I used to like watching Hercules. My dad used to like watching both shows. But I used to like it when they used to have the crossovers of Hercules and Cena together. I used to think that was off the hook. So hopefully Hercules does a cameo in the game. That would be great. And then another one for the Wii U. That's a fighting game, but it was a game that I was trying to get for a really long time. And that game is Tekken Tag Tournament for the Wii U. This is one of those games that I was trying to get for a long time, and I finally got a really good deal for it, a really clean and nice copy for it. And then a game that I have forgotten about that I remember from many years ago, but it's a game that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. And when I saw it, I was very impressed. And I'm like, man, I want to play it. And that game is Spider for the PS1. Basically, you play this one spider. It's a 3D platformer. Looks really interesting and fun. So I have forgotten about this one. I remember hearing it many years ago, and finally got myself a copy. So yeah, looking forward to play that one. And then, excuse me for a moment, the next set of games. Yeah, I got a lot more. I got a lot more things. This, you guys are gonna laugh on this one. It's Babe and Friends for the Game Boy Color. Is it Game Boy? Or Game Boy, I think it's Game Boy Color. I'm not sure. But anyways, this one is a puzzle game and it looked really fun. And it was going for really cheap. Basically, you control Babe and you try to help out some of your friends around the farm area. And it's kind of like a puzzle game. So this one looks really interesting as well. And then another one that I owned the first one and I finally got the sequel for it, Red Steel 2 for the Wii. I owned the original Red Steel. I never played it, but I remember seeing Red Steel 2 out in the wild and not getting it because they wanted a lot of money for it. So, yeah. It even has the unlock code in there. Yep. And I remember letting it go because I want to, when there's like sequels, I like having the sequels. So I got that one. And then another game from back in the days that I never got to finish, but I want to give it a try because it got really hard at the end. Saga Frontier for the PS1. Got it for really cheap. It was going for really cheap. And it's a really decent copy of it. So basically, this is an RPG. You have several different characters that have I believe it's several different stories. And they'll intertwine at the end. So really interesting game. Not much can I say about this one, but it's just part of the Wii U collection that I want to finish. Just Dance 2016 for the Wii U. Got it complete. Enough said. I'm not too fond of those, but I got it because I need to complete it. Now, this one's another one that I had forgotten about as well. And this game is a shooter, a very interesting shooter, and it's called Nanotech Warrior for the PS1. Basically, you control, I believe that you kind of shrink or something. The story goes that you shrink down and you go into like a into like the DNA or something like that. Your ship goes and the level is very arcade where it goes like a spiral, so your tank can move around the spiral way and you progress. It's a shooter, really fun game that I remember hearing a lot about back in the days and I had forgotten about. And of course, another game that I want to say I heard about, but it went for really cheap, and I like strategy games. It's a strategy RPG, and that is Master of Monsters, Disciples of Gaia. Yeah, and I got the game without the instructions, but I got the original case for it. So yeah, so you can see the story. I guess I guess you're out to defeat Gaia, and it's a strategy RPG. Looks very interesting. So, and I saw it. I was scrolling through eBay in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep, and this one came out, and I just put it out there and say, okay, if I win it, I win it. And ended up winning it for really cheap. Another game that I just discovered that I'm very curious about. It's an overhead top shooter, kind of similar. I can describe it similar to like Smash TV, and that's called Loaded for the PS1. Got it for a decent price. This one really caught my eye when I saw gameplay of it. So I don't know what it's about. I just really like the arcade style of gameplay. So it really caught my eye. So yeah. And then finally, the last game of the pile. It's a game that I saw earlier in the month. I wasn't sure to get it. I made an offer for it and I got it for really cheap. Escape Monkey Island for the PS2. Now, this is from a very long series of games. Especially computer PC games, but a lot of them got introduced later to the consoles. Not all of them are in the consoles. Like the first one, I don't think it's in a console, it's in the PC. This is supposedly like the third one. The first and second one are in MS-DOS or something like that, and then or Amiga or something like that, and then this one came to the console for the PS2. And of course, there's also, I believe, Limited Run has like some that are out there. But anyways, this is one that I'm very interested in playing. So yeah, those were my games. Big giant pile of games that I got this month. But I also got a bunch of really cool items. Let me see how I'm going to do this because this is a lot. So remember what I told you guys, that why I have those things in display, these figurines specifically. Well, as you can see, Mirrorverse figures. I'm very fond of the Mirrorverse figures. I'm actually looking for Mickey Mouse. So I'm trying to look for it out in the wild. But then my son found this figure one day. We were shopping and it was on sale. And he told me, Dad, I don't think you have this figure. And that figure is Baloo it's the Mirrorverse figure of Baloo. So now I got this one in the ranks, another giant figure, and of course Baloo from Tailspin, and of course I have Donald Duck, but I've seen Sully out in the wild before, but it's also another bigger figure. So I really want to get Mickey Mouse, at least because of Goofy, Donald, and Mickey. Those are kind of like the Kingdom Heart style of people, of characters. But I'm glad to have Baloo. So let me put this guy over here. Put him right there. And then, as you can see, Dragon Ball. I just learned that there's a new Dragon Ball series that came out, or TV show or something. I really want to watch it. It caught my eye. But I think it's a remake of the original. And I got these other characters to join the ranks. I got Frieza, the fourth form of Frieza. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Got that one. Put him here with Baloo. And then, of course, I got the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Yep, got Vegeta. And if you can see, I didn't realize that there's more characters to collect. These are like the blue-haired, like blue-haired. I think that's Goku. Blue-haired Goku. And then that's Super Saiyan Rosei Goku. And then, of course, in this one, I think this is part of the main set right here. I just need Gohan. That's what I'm looking for. And then I'll complete this particular set. But yeah, I love Dragon Ball. Especially the very original anime when Goku was a youngin'. The original Dragon Ball. Of course, as you guys know, it's obviously a loose interpretation of Journey to the West. So that's pretty cool in itself. And then I had forgotten that I got these. I just felt nostalgic and I bought a couple of these Garbage Pail Kid cards. I'm not going to show them all off because I'm planning on doing something with these. But I got about 10 for a rather cheap price. These bring up a lot of nostalgia, and when I do what I'm planning to do later down the line, I'll discuss more in detail about those. I'll leave those guys there. And then this is something that I've been wanting to get for such a long time, and it finally went on sale. And I'm glad I didn't get it at the time that I was gonna get it. And that is Party Wallop, Transformers, Crossover, Ninja Turtle, Party Wallop. Love it. I love this one. I'll show you the back, and you can actually, I'll move the right here. If you guys can see, you can have the whatever Ninja Turtle you want to do. And then my son made a really good point that it was reminded him of that Ninja Turtle. I forget the name of that character. That's a Ninja Turtle robot. And my son said that's kind of like a loose interpretation of that character. And I told him, you're right, you know. But this is great, and you can turn them into whatever turtle you want. I remember seeing reviews that you can store the items, you can store everything, and you can choose your favorite turtle character. Of course, I love Raphael and Michelangelo. So yeah, finally got it. And then this weekend, I actually went to the store and I found these guys, and I am in love with these. These are so awesome. If you guys were a kid around the time that I was in the late 80s, early 90s, you were a kid, well, even to this day, y'all know about this cereal. Count Chocula. Yeah, Count Chocula, but it's not the cereal. It's an action figure. This was so freaking cool. When I saw that, I thought this was cool. And yeah, this is so nice. Count Chocula, you got different, I guess, different head molds you can put, and the cereal box for them. And I also got, let me see if I can put him, I'll put this guy in the back over there. And then I got Frankenberry. Really, really cool. Unfortunately, I cannot find Boo Berry. That's the only one I want to find, Boo Berry. But it's not out there, and I noticed that these are going for kind of like a little bit of a price. But the quality looks very cool. Yeah, it's different facial expressions, I guess. But this is so cool. I love, and then this is a really, really good cereal that I like. So my kids aren't too crazy of the cereal, but they like the characters. I know a while back, I think I have the Funko Pop of Frankenberry, or I forgot which one. I know I showed it a few months back. But this is my whole haul for October 2024. Jesus Christ, what a big giant haul. It is big. I mean, I think this kind of took over the last couple of hauls that I had. And I got some great games, great things. So yeah, this is my haul for October. I'm also celebrating an anniversary on my channel on the 30th of October. I started my YouTube channel, so this also serves as a little bit of a celebration. God, I don't know how many years I have with YouTube. Probably about 6, 7, between 5 to 7. I know it's 6 or 7 years, but it's been that long. And I appreciate everybody who tunes in and watches, everybody who comments below, everybody who subscribed to my channel, who gave me those thumbs up and all those likes. You guys are the greatest. I do this because I love doing these videos. I see a lot of other fellow YouTubers doing these videos, and they're inspirations for me to do all of this. So on behalf of my channel, to you guys, a big thank you. A big, greatly appreciative of what you guys do. And I hope for more, hopefully more people subscribe, like, share the videos to other friends and family out there. I try to make my content as much as kid-friendly as I can so everybody can enjoy it. I know sometimes a couple of little bad words slip here and there, but it's not really intentional. I try my best so that way all of you guys can enjoy these videos. And you guys can enjoy these great things that I find out there. And you guys can be inspired if maybe you see something you like and maybe gives you an idea or whatnot, or an idea to do something. That'll be great. It's a positive thing that I do. So thank you from my channel to you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Peace out.